Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to the public hearing. I am Miguel Del Valle on behalf of my fellow board members. Thank you for joining us today. The purpose of this hearing is to receive public comments on the proposed Illinois State Board of Education waiver renewal request for a food services RFP. The board is scheduled to vote on this waiver at our regular board meeting later today. Madam Secretary, please state for the record the notice procedure for this hearing.
Thank you, Mr. President. Notice of this public hearing was posted on the cps.edu and cpsboe.org websites on July 7, 2020. Notifications regarding this hearing were also sent to union representatives and state legislators representing Chicago on July 14, 2020. The public notice was published in the Chicago Sun-Times on July 14, 2020. For the record, I would like to note the members present here today and state that board members Melendez and Truss are joining this hearing via telephone conference. Member Rome? Member Melendez?
Here.
Member Todd Breland? Here. Member Truss?
Here.
Member Sotelo?
Here.
And President Del Valle?
Here.
We have 4 members present and 2 members joining us via telephone conference. I would also like to acknowledge our General Counsel, Joseph Moriarty, and our Chief Operating Officer, Arnie Rivera. Thank you.
We will now proceed with the waiver renewal request presentation. Crystal Cooper, please proceed. Crystal Cooper is the Executive Director of Nutrition Support Services, and she will explain the ISBE waiver renewal request for food services RFPs. Thank you. Crystal?
Thank you, President DeValle. Good morning. My name is Crystal Cooper, and as President DeValle said, I am the Executive Director of Nutrition Support Services here in Chicago Public Schools, and I am going to talk today about the food service procurement waiver request. Can we go to the next slide, please?
Proceed.
Nutrition Support Services is requesting that the board approve the renewal application for the waiver of the Illinois School Code for a 5-year term beginning July 2021 and ending June 30, 2026. The current waiver does expire June 30 of 2021. Section 34-21.3 of the Illinois School Code only allows for a competitive sealed bid for food service management companies. A waiver of this section of the school code will allow the board to solicit services via an RFP, request for proposal process. Bids are less efficient for the district for a few reasons. It requires the district to draft specifications for each individual food item, service, and consumable needed to run the food service operations. It also requires the district to award the bid to the lowest responsible bidder with no ability for post-award negotiations of pricing, services, or product specs. It does not allow the flexibility to offer services as needed by the board. Please proceed to the next slide.
Please proceed. Crystal, you can continue.
Thank you. As a justification for the waiver, issuing an RFP allows the district to be more effective and efficient by reducing administrative time using one RFP versus multiple bids, enhancing flexibility to adopt industry trends and innovations such as wellness, new menu items, and program delivery methods, as RFPs can be encouraged to accommodate this. And lastly, negotiating services to receive the highest quality products at a competitive price for a range of services without locking the district into those products identified in a traditional bid. For example, paper supplies and packaging, and menu items that are gluten-free and plant-based. This now concludes the presentation.
Board members, any questions? Any questions from board members on the phone? Okay, if there are no questions, thank you, Crystal Cooper. Thank you for your presentation. Let's now proceed with today's public comment segment. Madam Secretary, please share the rules for public comment.
Thank you, Mr. President. For the record, I would like to note that registration for the public hearing began on Tuesday, July 7, 2020 at 1:30 p.m. and closed on Friday, July 17th at 5 p.m. or until all the 10 slots filled, or whichever occurred first. Individuals who registered to speak will have 2 minutes to comment, and I will call speakers in the order of registration. Members of the public may submit written comments related to this waiver application via email at boe@cps.edu or mail to 1 North Dearborn, Suite 950 by 5 p.m. Wednesday, July 22nd, 2020. This hearing will conclude after the last person who has registered to speak has spoken, or at 10 a.m., whichever occurs first. When called, please state your name. Mr. President, we will start by calling the first speaker, and that is Sade Richmond, speaker number 1.
I have speaker number 2 on the line.
Mr. President, we'll proceed with speaker number 2, Jermaine Wright. Mr. Wright, please proceed. Mr. Wright?
Hello.
Yes, you can proceed.
Hello, my name is Jermaine Wright, and I'm part of the hashtag Police Free Schools Coalition. And today I would actually like to redirect the message of today's meeting, and to bring up the fact that, you know, this is a vote that's about to happen, and that the vote last time seemed to be that we keep police in schools, but, you know, our youth don't feel safe in schools. I come here to say that, you know, I believe that, you know, we stand with our youth, and we stand with what the youth say, and anything that they say goes. So if they say that they do not want police in schools, we do not believe that police should stay in schools. Police create a traumatic, police create drama, police create several different instances in schools where people do not feel safe in their schools to continue to come to school. So much that even during my senior year, I almost did not graduate because I did not feel safe at the school that I was constantly coming to. So I come to bring these facts not only from the hashtag Police Free Schools Coalition, but from your peers. We have educated you all on numerous factors about how police do not belong to schools, and you all have continued to vote against and opposing our views, and right now we demand. And this would not only be like one demand that we have, but like this is our last and final warning to let you know that if you do not take CCD out of CPS, that we will, you know, stand and fight with our people.
Mr. Wright, you have 30 seconds to conclude.
Mass demonstrations, and I'm sorry, I can't hear you.
You have 30 seconds to conclude, please.
Yes, so what I'm basically saying is coming to end with is that we both demand CPD out of CPS, and anything other than that is directly saying us like you, us brown you, and we demand that CPD be out of CPS. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Wright. Thank you for your comments. Mr. President, we'll proceed with the next speaker.
Transferring speaker number 3.
Thank you. Speaker number 3, Mr. President, is Daniel Weinberg. Mr. Weinberg, please proceed.
Hello, President Gabaye and Vice President Rebuelli and members of the board. Good morning. Thank you for the honor of speaking before you. I'm Daniel S. Weinberg, a semi-retired part-time 18-year public librarian and a 25-year resident of West Ridge in Chicago. My father ran for president of the Chicago Teachers Union in 1960 and vice president in 1962. I'm concerned not only about COVID-19 pandemic, but about the pandemic that is not being called a pandemic, the diabetes pandemic. Schools should not be started during the pandemic. 27% of sixth graders are obese. Almost 18% of kindergartners are obese in Chicago. This is not good. 10.5% of American adults have diabetes. 33.9% of American adults have pre-diabetes. That is 88 million people. This is a pandemic to me. So what can we do? These past 2 weeks, I gave up eating sugars, donuts, sweet rolls, etc., and I believe that I went through withdrawal. Sugar, according to scientists like Robert Lustig, say that sugar is the same as heroin and alcohol in the way they affect the liver and heart. So why don't we hear about sugar in rehab? We can give public school students in Chicago a chance with a diet of no sugar and fresh food. I'm with the group eatreal.org, EATREAL.org, a California nonprofit that will, for free, help CPS students adjust to a more nutritious meal. Last year, they gave, for instance, we gave at CPS breakfast bars that are full of sugar. EatReal.org has helped Boston, Minneapolis, San Francisco, and Oakland, California schools change their diet. Thank you for your actions. Diabetes costs are out of control and bringing the healthcare system to a stop. Nutrition
Mr.
labels
Weinberg?
only hurt the students' future health. Thank you very much.
Thank you for your
Thank you.
comments. Mr. President, we'll continue with the next speaker, please. Speaker number 4, Teresa Hen.
I have speaker number 4 on the line.
Thank you. Ms. Hen,
Yes.
please proceed.
Hi, my name is Teresa Haynes, speaking on behalf of the CTU Testing Committee to request a waiver of all standardized testing for the upcoming school year. This is a waiver hearing, so I thought we would be able to slip this in at a time that I could get in. If we follow the CPS hybrid plan for returning to school, in addition to valuable instructional time loss, standardized testing will add anxiety and stress to an already extremely unsure time. It would be better to allow educators to do what they do best, teach and evaluate within their existing teaching practices. Please take the initiative to continue the federal waiver by the U.S. Department of Education last spring due to COVID-19. We are asking to waive all forms of standardized testing, such as IAR, Access, and NWEA, for the following reasons. Educators are very aware students will be behind and how best to meet their areas of need. Time spent on standardized tests would be better utilized in building relationships and meeting the academic and social emotional needs of our students who are dealing with trauma related to the pandemic and civil unrest. Teachers are trained and skilled to embed a collection of assessment data in their everyday instruction. We need to focus the school year on recovery, remediation, and rethinking why we use standardized tests. NWEA takes 2 days per subject and puts special education teachers from their students to provide weeks of required accommodations and modifications listed in IEPs. The state of Georgia was first to request a new waiver to quote their school.
Ms. Hen, you have 30 seconds.
Teachers and students need to be free from worry about tests, and schools have better use of time and money normally spent on administering them. We also request reach evaluations be waived. Administration will not have time to provide meaningful feedback or give a fair evaluation to educators while enforcing all return to school mandated guidelines. Nothing about teaching will be normal. The Danielson and reach evaluation frameworks are without merit while following current health and safety guidelines. No teacher could receive even a satisfactory rating based on current criteria in the evaluation. Thank you for your time and your continued support of our students.
Thank you, Ms. Hen. Mr. President, this concludes the public participation segment. We have no more speakers. And for the record, I would like to note that Vice President Rivellari joined the hearing at approximately 9:40 a.m.
Thank you. Board members, any comments or questions regarding the waiver renewal request? If not, this concludes the waiver renewal request hearing. The regular board meeting will convene at 10:30 a.m.